Then you would give the put and modify level access. So if you want, let's say you are updating the email field from outside the system, somebody third-party agency is assigning the emails to Workday. So then you would need an update. Access to email. So whatever domain that you have found for the email, now you need to assign the domain in the put and modify level, so that somebody would be able to update the data in Workday. So modify is the top-level access. If you give the modify or put by default, you get the get. So if you want to give a modify level access, you will see by default it has got the get and view level access. Or if you do the put, so you by default get the get level access. So for our field we are building an outbound integration, so we want to give the view level access. So I will just copy my domain. So let's give this. So I will give the view access. Copy and paste. So here you are pasting and your domains are being searchable here. If it is not that much unique, then you will have to search it manually. So you check it. Same thing you do with the view. Copy more. Stuffing. Okay. So let's do this with the other way round. This one I will give with this other way round. So let's see. So I have given the get input level access to this. I have kept one for it. I will assign it later with the other way. So, as I was saying that there are some default domains that you want to give if you want your owner, if you are creating this report, let's say for your REST API report, and you will be the from now onwards when we transfer the ownership. We want our integration system user to be owning the report and the schedules and all those things. So there are some default level of domains that you want to give from a custom report side, so that your ISU is able to maintain your reports when they are being the owner. So it's like owner privileges. So if you just type the custom report and this, we will give on the modify level. So there are a couple of ones that we want to give. One is the custom report creation, custom report administration, and manage all reports. So you can have peace with custom report creation and administration as well. But I usually prefer to give these three: manage all custom reports, custom report creation, and administration in the modify level. So if you don't give them, then you will not be able to assign the ownership of your ISU to the report. So you just give it to them and you see there is an alert coming in. I hope you already have seen this. So this is not complete security. When you edit, you just have to do another task, which is called activating the security. So we will do it once we have done everything, because until then you do this, we have just saved it and now we just need to activate it. So before we activate, I will probably do one more thing, the domain which was pending. So I want to give some access. So let's see this domain. So how do you see domain view? just showing both face. You can use whichever way you want. Sometimes for some of the domains, does not allow the additional security groups. So if you're not able to do this way, then you can try the other way. I have tried sometimes, or some of the fields it was not allowed to be added security group here. So I had to do the other way. So you have come to the domain. Now you will edit the domain policy for this domain. So you will come to the domain edit security policy permissions. More or less it would be the same. It's just that now you will have a different layout and architecture. So here you would have again same thing, report, task permissions, integration permission, divided into two category. So there you have two boxes for view and modify. Here you have two boxes for get input. So you check it, you add the group and then you decide which way you want. So if something is by default modify, then something is modified, then by default get is checked. But if something is view by default, modify is not checked. So if you're giving modify, you're getting view by default. So now, if you think that you can make a new entry here if you want, or you can choose any existing entry. But if they're belonging to a particular category and if you don't want to give the modify level access, then you can make your own entry. That's fine. So here you have to copy your security group. So there's ISSQ or ISSG or rated. So this is my issue. So here you decide what level of access you want to give. You want to give a view level access. You can give the view level access. Just copy it now, and I'll give it to the get level access as well. And then I'll choose the get. OK. So I'll click OK here now. So now it's time to activate the security, which you have done. So this activate security, it's not like a very prominent thing and it's not like that to every time you have to do it. There is a control over on the tenant level on this task. So in the implementations, when you will be working in the implementation projects. So since in the implementation projects you are heavily doing the configurations and the securities a lot of times, so to don't waste the time of the developers having this task executed each and every time, so they kind of switch it off. So it's like a toggle switch, which you can switch it off. So in that case, whatever security you do it, they're just committed when you are doing it. No need to run this task. So this is like a controllable feature and people do use it in the implementation tenants, where it does not gives a pop-up and the security by default committed as soon as when you link the domains of the security groups. So, once you click this, activate pending security policy. You will get a confirm and then whatever domains you have been doing or even somebody else has been doing, they will be coming up here and will be committed by default. So you see, I have not added these domains academic and all, but somebody might have been working parallelly with the same user. So there may be coming up. And then in the business process, security policies. So I did not assign any business process level security policy, but still somebody is, or maybe somebody has done later on or some amount of time before, but forgot to activate and don't want to activate. So if I do it now, I don't have any control and whatever I do will be committed for all. So I just click OK. Just like we have domain security policies, we also have business process security policies. So sometimes let's say you are building an inbound integration, or maybe let's say you are building outbound integration and you have some fields fetching some data from a business process. Then in that case, you will have to give the business process level security policies. So let's say you have a higher task added, business process security. It is a task which will cover your business process security policy. So you choose this task and you type your business process, let's say, hire. So business process security policy is little different from your domain security policies. So here it is divided into different sections wherein you give not a blanket access, but you give the access based on different operations, different features of the business processes, different steps, the level of accesses that you decide. So let's say some are initiating actions. Who can start the business process? So you give the user-based security groups here who can trigger the hire business process. Who can trigger the initiating action via the web service? So here you would probably give your ISGG, which is meant for your integration, which is triggering your hire business process, from a web service. So in that case, let's say, you are building an inbound integration where you are hiring people from outside, from a recruiting tool into Workday, and you have integration which is working and you have created a ISU and security group. Then to give the hire employee web service the access to the security group, ultimately, ISU. You have to give your security group here on the initiating action where it can initiate this hire web service. Similarly, if you are doing initiating action of convert to employee, then who can convert? So whoever have access. So here you will. Mostly you will get the user-based roles, where an individual person is performing these roles. Initiation action of hire employees. Different categories. They are divided into student,